I just wanted to come on here real quick and just talk about taking advice from people. You know, when you're a young person like myself, you're going to get a lot of advice. Whether that's from your fellow peers, your parents, your coworkers in school. And I just wanted to come on here and say, don't take advice from everybody. You see, when you take advice from everybody, it really starts to scramble your brain. Me especially, I don't take advice from people if I don't want to be in their spot in their life at their age. I'm just not going to take their advice. You know, you should really only take advice from people who are knowledgeable about what you want to do with your life. If you wouldn't want to trade places with that person in your life, I don't think you should take advice from them. That's just my personal opinion. I think with the internet nowadays, young people see stuff all the time. You know, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. They're constantly getting, opinions from a whole bunch of different people, a whole bunch of different ethnicities, age groups. It can be very confusing on, which advice to take, which not to take. So I would just say, if you're not willing to trade places with that person, don't take advice from them. And especially if that person has knowledge in the topic that you want to seek, take advice from them. But if they're just spewing bullshit and you can sense that, just cut it off. It's just, I think a lot of people end up just, they get confused, and it's a hard point in the world because we have everything knowledge-wise with the internet. You can literally look up anything off a dime and know about anything of everything. But back in the day, the 80s, 90s, where, our parents were growing up, it was a lot harder for them to gain knowledge and to gain wisdom. But I will say the one thing that you can't look up is life experience. A lot of the advice that I take, if I'm not going to be biased or anything like that with, if I wouldn't trade places with them, is life experience. You can't look up life experience. You can only experience it. So if somebody is telling you in their life that they did something bad, maybe just learn off of them. Even if you don't respect them, even if you're not going to take the advice off of them, you can't learn life experience. You can only learn from other people and, learn from yourself. A really basic one is a lot of older people told me, don't spend your money on stupid shit, which that's a good one. I think anybody should be able to learn off of that and, not spend your money on stupid shit. But the one I hear from a lot of older people is, it's kind of like half and half, right? Some older people tell me to live it up in my 20s. Some people say to settle down. Some people say to work your ass off in your 20s, and that's the one that I'm kind of confused with. You work your ass off in your 20s, but you miss a lot of time. You party your ass off, you kind of fall back. And it's hard to have kind of like that equal medium.